Hello, all you orcs and goblins. This is Hugh the Lizard coming at you, I guess, for your week 4 recap. I am joined here as always, by Innovation. And
Hey dudes, how you all doing?
yeah, that was a very professional opening. I'm very proud of that. I think I stumbled over every single word there.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, we have clips for every team, so we're still improving.
we improved. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay, so let's start off with Children of Dune versus Soul Power, which is your clips. So let me just pull them up.
Oh, that's a fun one. Gaven versus Bro.
All right, so you want me to press play?
Yep, go right ahead.
Can you see it?
Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yep,
so I'll start from the
yep.
beginning. All right, go ahead.
So, um, yeah. This game was interesting, and Necro played really, really well. This was the first chance the Rats really had to bolt. The ball carrier was left a bit open, and it was only a single dodge through, which was on a 2+ thing. So the recovery was quite good. The ball carrier wasn't protected, so a wizard recovery.
Ooh,
He likes his passing players, so that's kind of what I expected to happen here, and we'll see how that kind of plays out.
yeah, that reminded me a lot of what he did last week. Bolt, pass it down.
Yeah, we see it quite a lot, but obviously you have got the failure rate of
Yeah, and as
as
we
it
just
can happen.
saw, it could go horribly wrong.
So yeah, he was unlucky because it's basically a 2+ to not get intercepted, but with the pass you can have it fumbled and all sorts.
Yeah,
So the next clip,
I think I just showed it. There we go.
the next clip you can see like it's a 3+ dodge, I think that is. To go into his cage and just stack his ball carrier with wrestle strip. Um, yeah. Um, Rats are horrible to play against, and but I do think that could have been a bit safer.
Hmm. Uh, you want me to go on? Just say next clip when you want me to go on the next clip.
Oh,
So I keep playing it when
I
you.
don't. Yeah, carry on.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So as you see, the Necro kind of do the same thing again here. Again we're gonna have a shot with wrestle strip here, and one of the scatter places is the crowd. So this is extremely dangerous. First dice not that good. Second load of dice get him exactly what he wants. And now we see the scatter. Um, it scatters the crowd.
Crowd playing catch. Oh, that's not too bad.
So
That wasn't too bad for Necro. Uh,
it should scatter into the crowd, but scatters the scatter's not that bad. I just got loads of lag there, so I missed most of the clip.
oh, okay. Uh,
Um,
yeah, so we saw the crowd was playing catch, and then it kind of landed near the wolf.
yeah, the scatter that could have been quite devastating for the Necro, to be fair.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I think
It
they
could
were
have
pretty
been.
lucky with how that played out.
Yeah, I thought they were. They played a really, really, really solid like 4 or 5 turns, and then it went up it went up for grabs almost, and the Skaven didn't have to roll that many dice to make it happen. So when that happened, I wasn't surprised. I was just yeah, it was one of those. I was like, if you only played like you did the first 4 or 5 turns, then you would have seen out this for a turn 8 score very easily.
Mm. So Necro
So,
wasn't able to score then?
or they might have been. Who knows? We'll have to see the next clip.
All right, the next clip.
But you kind of see it in midfield, and the Necro pick it up on the Wolf. So that's a 3+. And then I think that's a 3+ handoff. And then I think there's a GFI or two involved.
Oh,
And I've honestly thought this would be a tripwire.
yeah.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah,
So
it had that
the Necro
feel.
get the score. It does, doesn't it? So that happened. And then yeah, we go into the 1 turn for the Rats. They've made all the pushes. They're just picking up the ball and they go to hand it off. I was kind of wondering why he didn't take the block on a zombie here to nudge it out of one of the tackle zones and nudge him up one.
He could have
But
gone him out, but oh yeah, no, actually only one. He could have gone him out both tackle zones actually, because he just push him to the side if the zombie goes down.
yeah, um, but he was a bit unfortunate to be honest.
Yeah,
Uh,
you always feel
uh,
brilliant when the one turner works, and you know,
no, he done a really really good job right up to the point where it said no.
so could you turn your mic up a little more? I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
uh, I turned it down because I was playing a different game. Too loud. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. I don't wear it properly half the time. Half the time I only wear one side of my headset on.
Mm.
Um, so the next clip, we are into the second half, and I don't understand why we left this ball quite so hittable, but we did, and we kind of get away with it. So we trapped the wolf on the sideline, but 4 dice is a pretty good chance at knocking something down. Well, 8 dice. You could say the Necro were unlucky not to sack him there, but with all the luck that went against him in the first half, with all his attempted sacks and all everything that kind of just didn't quite work out for him, I thought he deserved that bit of luck in the end. But you can just play a little bit safer and just not rely on that kind of luck factor, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on to the next one. So we're turn 13. We get the rat score after a little jigging about.
Yeah, it's like, ha, you can't get me, nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, Necker are quite hard to play against the Skaven because they can kind of keep pace with you. So yeah, on a Skaven offense, you can't quite get away with what you usually can. So we're on to the next one.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you could hear my wife blow drying her hair, but I closed the door, so hopefully you can't now.
We couldn't hear the blow drying, but we heard you close the door.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's interactive. It's like ASMR or whatever it's called. um, so we're on the next clip. Necro kind of left an opening here. The rats get the sack on the ball off the 1D. Um, and it lands, but they can't do a lot with it because the Necro kind of murdered most of the players off the pitch, or tied them down. So on to the next one, and you're wondering how the Necro are going to score, and I'm also wondering how the Skaven are going to score. So I was a bit. I didn't think it would end 1-1. I just thought it would end either one side scoring or the other. And the Rats have a 4+ pickup, I think, with a reroll, and
Yeah,
can't manage it.
yeah. Sometimes the 1 and 4 happens.
Yeah. So we're turn 16. We've based up the Necro. It looks kind of bleak because we got sidestep, dive, and tackle there. But he does a great job of just filling all these squares that the sidestep can use to stay on the ball. And the block that he takes here on the 3 die, that's a sidestep, dive, and tackle. And the only place he could really go was away from the ball carrier, but he had to knock him down on the first set of dives. Otherwise, I think the sidestepper could get back on the ball, if I remember rightly. But the
Mm.
Necro get a really, really nice win there. Um, Overall, there's two sides to this coin, really. The Skaven played like quite a basey up kind of game to try and force those openings. But the flip side of that is most of your pieces are AV7. Um, and sometimes you're just gonna get overwhelmed and overpowered when you're doing stuff like that. Like you could make an argument to go for more of a traditional kind of screen office team kind of thing, or try and make the pitch wider. And I thought he went down the bash route against a team that was more suited to it, and it kind of backfired for him in the end, but he still played well enough and was pretty unfortunate actually not to come out of that scoring 2 or 3 himself and maybe getting a 3-2 win or a 2-2 draw. So I think the Necro were a little bit lucky with their ball security, but this gave them an opportunity basically. If they played a little bit more conservative, they would have probably got something more out of that game.
Yeah, I see that Soul Power got 57 blocks, and when you're Skaven and you're giving up 57 blocks, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, you don't expect to have a lot of players left if you're giving up around 50 blocks.
Yeah.
Because AV7, what, half of those are gonna break.
Okay. Although, really, looking at it, Children of Doom came out of it not too badly. They got a strength bust and a loner, so that doesn't matter. And then a lineman, skillless lineman, who is going to be missing the next game. There's no bench for the next game, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Actually, he
I
wouldn't
think
have
he
had bench
was
anyway because he only has 11
I
players. So he'll.
I think he was missing his one turner this game as well, which would have made a lot of difference to the actual one turn attempt as well. The Agi 5 move 10.
Mm, yeah, that's
That's
a
a
big
critical
piece not
piece.
to have on the field. So Soul Power, no damage to Soul Power, but we do have level up on the right, which is nice. Um, do you do Mighty Blow or maybe Tackle?
Where did we go with that? Did we go guard?
Well, I'm asking what you would do.
I'm not sure. Who's he got left to face? Has he faced one of the 12 teams already? Let,
I
let me
don't
just
know.
have a look. I'll just go in game and have a look. I always get the two Necro teams mixed up. Because one of them's got the two Blodge golems, and the other one looks a bit poorer on the level up rolls. Um, so we're looking at number 5, aren't we? Parliament Funkadelic.
No, Marcio
Oh, the golem,
Parker, number
Marcio
6.
Parker.
Yeah, so let's see what he
Um,
got.
I'd have gone guard, I think, or mighty blow, as
I
he was a
actually
late
think
leveler.
ta- I would have gone Mighty Blow or Tackle because I think building him as a killer piece makes a lot of sense. And given that
Okay.
he only has one other tackle on the team, having that extra tackle if you're playing against a certain team can be really helpful.
Um, yeah. I
Like
like
he,
having the extra tackle that's not on a frenzy piece. I get that. I just wish that he managed to get the extra 4 SBP so he could have mighty blow tackle. But I get the tackle.
yeah, I mean, like he's an MVP away from getting Mighty Blow, and then he has a Red Hot Chili Peppers is also an MVP away from getting guard. So I actually think that this makes a lot of sense. Because you get more utility out of tackle than mighty blow.
Yeah. Um. Oh, yeah. He's played. He played Chorfs round 1. Played High Owls round 2. He played High Owls round 3 as well. And this week he played Discaven. So even though it's quite a dodge heavy division, I think I think he's gonna need the extra guard on that golem or something, or the mighty blow. I don't. I get tackle. I don't hate it, but I do prefer mighty blow. Just to level him up and get himself to the next level because he's quite close anyway.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a fair position to take.
Uh,
Next. Oh, do you have any
Next
other
position.
thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I was just I'm not right. That's just the way I'd go about it. Was
Yeah,
all I was gonna add.
I I think even guard would have been defensible. It's just a matter of what you want the player to be, what you're going to use it for.
Yeah, it's kind of how you see your season, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's move on to the El Imperio Contractica. I put an extra C in there for no reason versus the Exploding Skulls. So this is Chorf on Chorf action here. There's not a lot to say about this game because a lot of it was just Chorf hitting Chorf.
Unless you see a lot of dead chores, there's not usually much, is there?
Yeah. Oh shoot, there's something wrong with this. Why is this so big? Hang on, I gotta fix something. I did test this earlier and I didn't do this. Alright. One thing to note is that L took what's his name? Zarg Mad-Eyed, which I have never seen before. I didn't
Uh,
know he existed, but it was an interesting choice that I thought had a big pro and a big con. The big pro was it gave him an extra Chorf
I
blocker.
think he's strength 4 as well.
Yeah, he's strength 4, so in this sort of bash match, he's pretty useful. And he could be an okay ball carrier because he's at G3. But combined with the Minotaur, it meant that he only had one Hobgoblin on the field, and that just felt a little precarious to me. So the first five
Uh,
turns, as I said, not much happened. They were just sort of bashing at each other and seemed kind of equal, despite there being multiple claws on the field. There was no removals, just lots of stuns. Like they were hitting each other, they were breaking armor, but they were just stunning each other. The only send off was a DP. that was called by the ref after doing no damage. This is the first little bit of action that we have here, where he decides to take the ball carrier to base up with the bull just so he could develop this two dice hit. And I'm thinking, you better not, like, you better just break armor here. And he does. I'm like, okay, good. Up, oh, dead. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. He's okay, but still, it's great. Still, he leaves up a pretty good sack from the remaining bull, which successfully takes him down.
If he doesn't break the other bull's armor and the scatter's a bit better, there's every chance that bull's not there.
Yeah.
Like you just turned over and gone.
Yeah, like I think it was a bad play that he got lucky with the death with the removal, but then at the same time he still left, even though he got that luck, he still left himself open to the the other bull coming in. Yeah, so but he managed to retrieve the ball and starts moving downhill, but once again the bull is able to sack him.
Yeah. I keep seeing a lot of that. Like there's a lot more sacks in games than what I'd imagine there would
Yeah.
be.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it here. He's having a bit of trouble because he's not protecting the ball. He went from protecting the ball really well to just saying screw it and he running upfield and giving up lots of blitz. And now he's on turn 8. The only scoring threat he has is this bull who has to pick the ball up in the 4 plus and I think make one GFI. So that 4 plus, he has a 75 chance of getting it because he still has a reroll. So he starts off, I think, doing the right thing by just clearing away the other team from the ball. Stun doesn't really matter. Comes over for the assist with the Minotaur. Stands up the Hob, so now he gets a 2 die. Pushes all he needs. Okay. So I don't want to sound mean, but at this point, what do you do?
You've run the bull in. You try and pick up the ball and you
Yeah,
try and run it in, don't you?
yeah. That's exactly what I was doing, what I was thinking. But he's a little braver than us, I guess, because he does a 2 die here. Well, okay, 1 in 36 chance, a failure. Okay, another one. Okay, these are a little risky, but I guess he's hoping for some random removals. And then he 1 dies it. It has to use
Oh my
that
god.
reroll. And
So your reroll's gone for the pickup now.
yeah, so now it's gone from a 75% chance of success to a 50% chance. And then he rolls another 2 die, which I guess he just feels committed to try and get the removals. He gets it. Okay. All right. Surely that's everything. Surely he's not going to roll another 1 die. Just,
Oh no.
yeah. But, there's no justice in the world, so he's not punished at all for it.
And bulls don't fail anything and then 1 in that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sure feet. 1 in 36. Uh,
Yeah.
oh man.
I don't know. If I was him, like, I guess I guess people like to take different levels of risk, but if I was him, every time I clicked another block, my heart would be in my throat.
I get taking an extra block if if you're a bash on bash team, right? Um, through you start off with like 3 rerolls. I call one of those rerolls you free like a free hit on like a free reroll on a hit on something important,
Yeah, like a
and
free
then the
greed.
other 2
Yeah,
rerolls that what you actually need. And I just wouldn't ever do that on turn 8. I just like, especially when you need the reroll to pick up the ball. and then you need to run it in. I
Yeah.
just do what you need to. Just minimize your dice. Just
It's
yeah,
it's
just
even
do as
worse
little as
because
possible.
the one die that he skulled was against Mad Eye, but Mad Eye was going off. Like he has a secret weapon. So he wasn't even going to be relevant
He's
for the
gonna
rest of the game.
he's gonna remove himself. You don't need to.
Yeah, like the one hit he had with the strength 4 claw, I I get that because that's a plausible removal, but everything else, like I was watching it and I was just like my head was exploding. Like just grab the ball and run, grab the ball and run. But I don't want to jump up on him too much. So we'll go to the next clip. This is just kind of fun, just a fun little moment. Coming in for the foul, kicking him right in the throat.
I presume this is second half.
This is the turn 8.
Oh, the turn 8. Okay.
Yeah, but he got to the substitute, so we had a death on each side that was saved by the Apo. Um, so second half, not that much to say about it. I'll show a clip up towards the end of the half, but basically my summary of the second half is that L came in with an 11-10 advantage, but got a KO on the line of scrimmage. So he played with 11 versus 9. He had more blockers, he had more players, and he was just able to kind of dominate the bash. The Skulls fought back gamely, but I felt like the second half was pretty well controlled by L. Then we got to turn 15, and he makes his move towards touch the touchdown zone.
We seem really caught up in midfield.
Yeah, they spent most of the half in midfield. The that strength for Hobb kept kind of running around looking for a way to get around the other team. I think he could have probably have forced his way up a little bit more, but I appreciate the more cautious approach that he took. I think it made sense. Like he didn't expose his ball carrier to many sacks, and then he got this pretty good opportunity to sort of slip up the side. Uh, the Exploding Skulls don't have a lot of players in position to respond to this. Um, they send a few bulls up here. I think probably this should have been the blitz against the bull there and tried to base the ball, but he was probably going to try to base it with that hobgoblin that filled the.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy from here to kind of just get that guy out of the way and run it in with the hob, which is great camera work, which is what he does. Yeah, so
um,
I guess my overall thoughts of the game is beyond. I'm not going to repeat the criticisms that I threw out there towards Skull, but I'll just say that it's probably a more entertaining game than the clips suggest. I forget who it was who said during the playoffs that bash teams, murder teams like this tend to be standoffish and don't actually fight very much because everyone's afraid of basing up. But both teams, like they came for a fight. They Between them there was 114 blocks. So there was a lot of like, ooh, he's hitting him with a claw. Is he gonna get him? And then not getting him. But it was still kind of fun to watch.
um, for me, and this is just a me thing. If you give up 50 blocks to somebody, you most of the time you won't have enough of a team left to fight. just if you try not to give up that many blocks, like even in a Chorf versus Chorf mirror, like you kind of want to set yourself up to be the one dishing out the blocks, not receiving them. So you try and minimize the amount that you base up and give away those kind of free hits. Um, Try and isolate the other person's guard and try and divide the guard up. Try and split it away from its mates. Try and isolate it on its own, and then you'll start getting a lot of joy because you've took away kind of a central piece for him to fight you with. Would be my advice there. You?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. Like, I guess there's a reason why it's often like that, that bash teams don't go in for each other. But I mean, both teams were
Uh,
going in. Like, it's not like there was an asymmetry. Both teams gave up over 50 blocks on each other. Um, I don't know. I think what they did was fine.
Um, yeah. They the first few turns in a general bash match are the first few turns you try and stand off, you try and outposition the other coach, and then you try and hammer home that advantage if you're the one that gets it. Because the other bash coach would be on his back foot, he'd be standing his players up, and you can kind of control where the positioning of his players are, and try and force
Yeah. So in terms, there
into a
are,
bad position where it opens it up.
yeah, I mean, I I would say that like the Skull was in a pretty tough position for most of the second half. Like he kept trying to pressure the ball, but couldn't fight his way through. But if he had tried to um, just block like a screen, I don't think he would have been successful because I think he would have been bashed through. So I think sort of trying to go in, hope that you get the luckier rolls, hope that your claw does more than his claw does. Like skulls really like were unlucky because like they had two claw versus one claw, and it just the claws just didn't do anything. So I
I
think you,
can't imagine what that's like.
yeah, it's basically my dream. Claws not doing anything. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I
you've
agree with you in general, but I'm not sure if either player really did the wrong thing given the circumstances of how the game was turning out. I think they were both
no,
vying for like the I'm gonna get that edge, and then they rolled a lot of like blocks, so they kind of were stuck with each other.
they're
Like I
trying to
mean,
beat
both
the alpha
downs.
bash team
Yeah,
and just couldn't get it done.
yeah. Like they were pretty tangled up with each other in both halves. So it's kind of they were tied together, just trying to bash each other's brains out, and I just couldn't get anything done. Uh, that said, like L did really dominate that second half. So no casualties, no perms. The only casualties that happened were Apo'd successfully, but we do have level ups on the Bull Center Hernan Courts and the blocker Ambrosia Spinola. So you have a block, break tackle, Bull Center. What?
Um, Block, break, tackle.
Yeah, I was thinking tackle. And on the guard, I think you give well, it already has Mighty Blow. Stand firm if you don't roll a double for the claw.
Um, you got no pardon on, but I don't want my guard on the floor. So I
Yeah.
kind of yeah, I like stand firm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
If he
see.
had claw as well, I'd definitely be going piling on.
Oh, he gave him piling on. So there you
Well,
go.
I
And he
covered that
gave the bull
one.
centaur guard. So I was wrong on all counts.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
We
like.
could.
I feel like
I,
he has enough
I just,
guard that giving the bull centaur guard is not totally necessary.
I was just looking at both Dwarf teams, and well, the skulls do have more claw. I'd actually expect Al to bash them, be the better bash team with the amount of mighty blow and guard and stuff that he has. I just don't really like the guard level up on the ball there. I think tackles would offer a lot more.
Yeah, it gives him. It makes him a better safety bull when he's playing
Makes
against
it
Skaven or Wood Elves or something like that.
gives him a more diverse team, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
like this is a very um, this kind of reminds me of
Good
the
at
discussion we
bash.
had about my human team, where it's kind of very guard heavy and not a lot
Slanted.
else.
Yeah, it's slanted in one direction.
Yeah, but
Um,
piling on, I think is fair enough.
yeah, I don't disagree with piling on. I really don't like the guy.
Yeah,
But hey ho.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, who plays chorfs, right?
I know a
Uh,
couple of people. I
yeah.
played Chorfs in Rebel College, like the Rebel. So I was one of those people.
Uh,
You can always upgrade to Nurgle. I'm just saying. Uh, is it me next? I
yeah. Let me
believe.
just share the screen so you can see what I'm doing.
The
For some reason, it keeps closing.
Chicago beer.
All right, you should be able to see it now. Um, what's the next team?
Um, Bourbon Street Brawlers, so Kanuki versus Chicago BS, so the Kislev. This was an eventful game. This 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 was a really eventful game. This is after the Kislev got a turn zero blitz, so they've piled on the pressure, got the ball down, and this is later in the turn, and where he's trying to open up a gap for him to get on the ball. And you'll see as the clip plays on that he makes a good effort at trying to recover this. Kanuki's actually got a wizard in this game as well, so that's important to note. Um,
Ooh,
Elves with a
almost
wizard
got there.
are never fun. Yeah, he was unlucky, but turn zero blitz is quite good. So it ends up in a little bit of a scrum. They have a little bit of a fight. Kanuki recovers it, I believe, and we're on to the next clip. And he kind of makes a breakaway. so, so it's just kind of, yeah, turn five score, I think that was. I was looking at the turns, it was about halfway through. And I was wondering whether Kanuki was aiming to get the turnover in the same half to make it 2-0 with the Wizard. Or what he was thinking there, but the Kislev done a great job of getting back and not letting the Owls stall off easily.
I feel like Kanuki is not a big fan of stalling. I've noticed that when he sees the opportunity to score, he tends to just go for it.
I think he's got a lot of confidence in just being able to to sack the ball and just. And so far this season, he's correct. He's got sacked the ball a lot, scored a lot, not conceded very many. So he knows more than you or I, it seems.
Yeah. Uh,
uh,
Next clip.
yeah. So we're on to turn 5. Kanuki throws the fireball. I wasn't a fan of this. I wasn't a fan of this, but yeah, I couldn't see what Kanuki was aiming for. This is the next clip on that same turn. The dirty elf gets something done.
Oh, in my face. In my face. I
I
was
thought I'd
wrong.
include that because I thought, oh, we're both wrong here.
That was a
That-
blister too that he took out. That's pretty good.
I know it's crazy. That uses the Apple, I think. The Agi 4 Blitzer used the Apple.
Oh,
So we're on to the next clip, and Kanuki's feeling quite good other than Wizard failing to get the ball down. And critical leap failure with two dive and tackle on your ball after Kanuki's piled on that pressure a lot more. The blodge step dive and tackle. So Kanuki's got a great shot on the ball, it seems, for this next turn. So we get a 3 die, knock him down. I forgot he was a blodge step fan. So yeah. But he dodges up, and then I seen the scatter, and I was like, "Oh, Kanuki's in with a good chance here."
yeah. I don't know if I like the way he. I would have gone backwards, I think, rather than forwards. But
I think he thinks it brings it closer to his own touchdown, so it's easier for Kanuki to recover and kind of do what Kanuki does, score.
I, I,
Um,
I guess, but like there were so many players down that could have bounced around and then landed in right next
yeah,
to.
I took so many clips of this game, it's crazy. So some of them didn't make the cut, so I'm sorry, but I tried to include all the impact ones, which was a lot. So we're on to the next clip, and Kanuki's kind of potatoed away, and the Kislev are relying on this dodge to work. And then it's on Blodge as well, and he hasn't got tackle, but it doesn't matter if he power.
Just roll sixes. Oh, good
Ju-
stun
just
too.
just roll the pow and break his AV as well. Um, I felt a bit sorry for Kanuki at this point. I was like, oh, you get away with all of that. You burnt your wizard. It didn't quite work out for you, and then you get that chance. You sack the ball carrier on a 3 die because the Kislev were unfortunate with the leap, and then he 3 pluses 1D powers you. um, yeah. So we're on to the next clip. The Kislev kind of recovered after that, didn't they? Or did they? Um, you can see the kind of the little bit of a brawl. I did wonder how the Kislev were gonna recover here. We um we KO him, but is that good enough? No, it wasn't, and he piles on and gets the injury after Kanuki used the Apo earlier
Yeah.
to
Well,
save one of his players.
turn 8. I see the argument for going for the kill. I don't think I would
I
have, but I can respect doing it.
I wondered if the Kislev were going to put a couple of scoring threats out the turn before, but they just couldn't. They got really bogged down and they just couldn't get away. And so targeting out that strength 5 was, while it might not seem like a great plan, considering how things had turned out, I like that because that's Kanuki's impact player. His Apo's gone because you needed to keep his numbers up so that he could go for the turnover to stop this being like a 1-1. Because I I like the way Kanuki plays a lot. He's trying to win every game, and I appreciate that. Which means that sometimes you go for the Apo on a badly hurt, and sometimes you're going to get an MNG on your star player, which is what happened there.
Mm.
So we're into the next bit, but that high risk play. now the injuries have started coming in. He's not got any of his KOs back, and we still got a shot on the Kislev ball after the bear went stupid, and he knocks out the ball carrier. So
That's not bad scatter for him, at least, for the
not
Kislev.
bad, but it wasn't recoverable. And then double skull loner, yeah, into injured bear. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I seen that, I laughed, and every time after it just gets me. We've all had that big guy double skull on us.
Yeah, that hurts. That's literally. I think.
I think
Well,
that
no.
was
Okay,
start of
the
the
only
turn
thing that
too.
would have been worse is if the bear died. But other than
If
that,
the
that's worst case scenario.
if the bear died, that'd be like a perfect clip, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be one for the ages if the bear had died.
Yeah. But yeah. Um. So the bear's now gone. So you've lost that prehistoric tail. So it's opened up things a bit more for the owls. And I seen the final score of this game before I done. I cut it but I didn't watch it live. So I seen the final score before I started watching the replay, and I was surprised. Eh, and after watching the first half, I was really surprised. But because I thought this was just gonna turn into a 1-1 after the failed wizard and stuff, and then the bear kind of killed himself. And then I was like, is Kanuki gonna nick this from this position now? Because you kind of lost your control piece. So we go on to the next bit, and yeah, this game gets a little bit crazy. So we got another shot at freeing up the ball, and we can't quite get it done. So we try and dodge in, and dive and tackle does the job, and he falls onto the ball, injuring himself, and it lands there. That turn was bro. I loved it. So the very next turn, obviously, got a straight two die. So one two die pow.
Oh, right next to the wrestle player too. That's pretty good. Oh, that would have been hilarious if he had caught that.
I know that's what I was kind of waiting for. I just wanted everybody to catch the ball. Yeah. So that happened. So just obviously with wrestle, you're happy with the both down. So, but having just keep getting these powers on the blodge step must have been really triggering as the pro alf coach, or it was for me when I was watching it anyway. So on to the next one. The Kislevs look in good shape, don't they? But you don't think they can turn it over. You're like, maybe it's a 1-1 now. But or maybe he gives Kanuki a shot at turning him over. But we go for the handoff here, which is I thought it was a bit greedy. I would have just run this in, but level's level. So, but we Kanuki gets a key failure. He set up for the the two turn, and he's burnt his last reroll. And now the Kislev have kind of flooded the backfield and then sacked his ball carrier here.
Oh, and gets a stun. Oh yeah. It's,
Yeah, so that's probably the worst case possible,
yeah.
other than him
Oh
maybe making that leap.
yeah. That was lucky getting that catcher KO'd.
And
Uh,
then the next clip is you'd think it's just a walk-in when you don't take any more dice. You take the 1 in 9 pickup and then you just walk it in and get 2-1 and hope that you don't suffer any adverse events, kickoff events. So he does exactly that. He just walks it in. So he gets the 2-1. Now I'm sat here thinking, oh,
Ooh, blitz.
what could possibly happen? And then the Kislev get a blitz for the second time in the game. I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe Kanuki gets a riot here. Maybe something
Oh,
happens.
and then he double
And then he
skulls
dub skulls.
just to end the game with a double skull.
I had that clip titled Kanuki's Poor Luck. So I sympathise with you quite a lot there. It did seem to turn quite dramatically in a second.
Yeah,
But
that
that was a fun game.
yeah, and that's a big win for Chicago Bullshite in terms of the standings, but we'll get to that a little later.
Yeah, Hans Kanuki is first loss, I think.
Yeah, that was his first loss and
First
brings
non-win.
brings the Chicago up in, like in the standings, and it makes the Bourbon Street Brawlers really gettable in terms of kicking them off the top space. But just
Most
looking at
definitely.
the injuries, quite a few. Kanuki's going to have a problem with his next game, I think, missing his strength five catcher and missing his mighty blow tackle catcher. I don't know who he's playing. I guess I can find out just by
Oh,
looking.
he is
Face
playing.
planters. Yeah, so I feel like
Ah,
he.
Spoon's loving the fact that he's missing a couple of those players, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
But I
really
think
good
that gives
news for
Kanuki
Spoon.
I think I think that gives Kanuki a wizard, maybe a bribe to make more use of that dirty player. Um, so it could be a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Well, the dirty player is still in there, so as long as the dirty player is in the game, Bourbon Street Brawlers will always have a chance.
Most definitely, definitely their star player, not anything to do with that strength five guy at all.
No, like I think the dirty player is the only player on this team that has Apple rights.
Most definitely.
Yeah. We do have a badly hurt on or sorry, a missed next game on number five Blitzer, which is unfortunate, but he has enough guard that he's probably okay. No, like an unfortunate loss for sure, but not a huge loss.
Um, the keys kind of in this game were the amount of removals the Kislev were able to generate by just keep piling on the pressure on Kanuki and making good use of the diving tackle. I think that was quite interesting, to be fair. Well, it was to me. um, but yeah, the only loss they've got really is the blitzer for next game, the guard blitzer. So the block guard blitzer.
So the Hurricane, uh, the less skilled thrower, is leveling up. He has pass, or sorry, he has dodge. Of course, he has pass. So I guess he's developing him as a defensive thrower. So maybe give him block. What do you think?
Um, well, we know Kanuki likes to score, so it could be anything from block to safe throw. Just
That,
go a backup thrower.
that's
Accurate.
fair point. Let's see what he got. Oh, he hasn't taken the level yet, so he's leaving us in suspense.
Playing mind games with Spoon.
Yeah, he's gonna give him dirty player. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, dirty player dodge. New
Yeah,
meta.
a dirty player dodge thrower.
Make sure you can get those fouls in when you only have to make a 1 in 36 dodge.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you get. He's a very mobile dirty player that way. It makes sense.
Oh, that should be fun. Um,
uh,
oh, we're already on to game 4.
Yeah, we're chugging along. Maybe we are getting better at this. So who is next? It's one of mine. The Nuffle Ex Machina versus the Face Planters. Just uh, here we go. Oh yeah, I had a lot of notes for this one.
As you get a book, I was like, oh.
Oh yes, this is
what
this is
what happened here?
this is gonna be my rank. We'll see. Yeah, I just need to pull it up. I did give him warnings that I was gonna flip out. Why does this thing keep doing this? The sizing is really off, so people gonna have the joy of watching me adjust it. So we start off. There's a blizzard, and the humans have taken a wizard. A
Nice.
failed pickup by the thrower gives the elves a chance to kind of split up the team. You can see. Actually, can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, you can see that the there's sort of three. Like the team is a little split up, but the humans are coming in to try to fix that problem. He made a little bit of a gap to let this catcher come in and hand off.
So 3+3+.
Yeah.
Was that a 1 in 9 handoff? Because it's a catcher.
Uh, no, that's a blitzer. Well, it's a Agi 4 blitzer, so it's a 1 in 6. Um, but he kind of leaves him fairly open, like he's going for the potato when the high elves have quite a few options.
So we come in and one die him.
Yeah, but he gets lucky. Uh, Probably could have made that a 2 die, but I think he was hoping it would go down. Uh, the humans score pretty quickly after that. The ogre, but not before the ogre kills a lineman. Uh, I thought it was a bit iffy to throw the block with the ogre when the ball wasn't safe and he hadn't scored yet, but he got success. The ogre managed to kill a lineman. Uh, After that drive, the climate went from blizzard to sweltering heat, which I don't want to get political, but is a clear sign that climate change is a growing concern.
Growing concern in the Blood Bowl.
Yeah, in the Blood Bowl universe, we really have to clamp down on those carbon dioxide emissions. It's the ogre farts. The ogre farts are destroying the environment.
I thought it was all the bombers. The goblin bombers.
Yeah, I guess every race has to do their part to prevent this
Yeah.
happening again.
Well, the Noble can't help it. They are already stinking.
Anyway, pretty quickly, the humans managed to get their diving tackle sidestep catcher on the ball, which is always a good tactic.
Fully approve of this tactic, but it does get him hit quite a lot.
Yeah, so he has to use up the reroll to get
So
the ball
6 dice to
free.
get him down. Well,
Passes it over the ogre's head.
you're not tall enough to catch
Yeah,
it.
and uses the GFI to score, which I think made
uh,
sense. He felt a lot of pressure, and I don't know if there was a great way to make the ball safe, but it does give
yeah.
the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you know me. I don't like rolling dice. So every time I see a score like that, I'm like, what if it fails here? What if it gets intercepted? What if he trips over and dies? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think it's like a 3+ throw into a 2+3+ catch. Dodge
uh,
away.
yeah. I'm not sure what what the roll what he had to roll to make that throw, but I will admit that I felt like he making the ball safe at that point was pretty hard. I don't know. I don't play elves partly because I feel like to make elves work, you have to roll the dice a lot, and I hate doing that. So yeah, I'm not gonna throw too much. Uh,
Yeah, I I can't play elves, so yeah,
yeah,
and that's the reason.
you've kind of gotten a little quiet again, actually.
Sorry. There you go.
Yeah, that's better. Um, yeah, but doing that does give the humans 4 turns to score again. Uh, if they do score, they'd be in a great position because they'll be 1 up with the wizard still in their pocket. And let's see what happens.
Humans are the wizard. That's interesting.
Yeah, the humans have the wizard. Go in for the sack on the ball. Gets pretty lucky there. Um, that's pretty painful for the elves. So
Uh,
the humans throw the ball to the Agi for Blitzer to move the ball up, and then they have them down in a loose cage down the field. Uh, the loose cage does give the elves a chance to get another blitz in. Can just
oh,
yeah, like can't quite make it work. I feel like the humans were pretty fortunate here. He bases up with the ball carrier.
that's a. Please, can you hit my ball carrier, man?
Yeah, like the ball carrier does have block, but he bases him up with wrestle. I really didn't like it. I felt like he had other options to at least make the elves roll to get the sack in. Uh,
Yeah,
even even like now he's in a bad position to get sacked by the elf that's upfield a little, which is what's about to happen.
I think even if he fails this sack, he can chain push the ball back into another block.
Yeah, which is exactly what happens. But that block doesn't work, so I kind of cut it. Um,
That's just unfortunate.
so
Yeah, right play.
humans have gone pretty lucky. They survived a bunch of blitzes. That they didn't do a great job protecting the ball, but things kind of worked out in their favor. And this is the moment that I warned Kaishi was coming. Uh, like I'll just say that I make lots of mistakes too. I I'm not the best Blood Bowl player in the world, and it's really easy to point things out and say like, "Oh, what you did here didn't work, or it didn't make sense, or it's too risky." It's in many ways easier to be a recapper than it is to be a coach.
Um,
Uh,
I, I
but
I play in Div 2 this season, and I made a stupid mistake this week where I left my ball hittable instead of moving him downfield. So
yeah,
everybody does it.
yeah. Can you turn up your volume again?
Yeah, sorry, I keep moving the mic away a bit.
Yeah. But I feel like there are, that said, I feel like there's some things that just stand out as like, why on earth would you think that was a good idea? And this is one of them. So he has to make a 2+ dodge, and 2 go for it. So he's 3 2+s away. He has a reroll, um, but there's no inbuilt reroll. So he needs that reroll to secure the to make the score happen. And then he throws the ogre into a 3 die. Like, yes, it's a 3 die, but it's still 1 in 27 chance that you're gonna. It's a 1 in 27 chance that you're gonna go down, and the the reroll might not work. There's just so many things that could go wrong there. And you think about like the payoff that he was going for. Like the best thing that could have happened there is he removed that player. That's
it
good, but that's not
don't
nearly as good as scoring.
it's a guard elf, so you can see the value there. Like it gives you better ball protection and stuff. But if you've got other dice rolls to make that are critical to you scoring, and it's turn 8, um, yeah, don't do anything. That just score.
Yeah, and this is the second game in a row that he's tripped. This ogre has trip scald. Uh, it's just like it. I think he just needs to play a little safer. Um,
Yeah,
but let's see if he gets away with it. Yeah, so no success there. Gets through the
no payoff,
dodge.
and that's where you needed the reroll.
Yep.
I've been there. That one hurts.
Yeah. And then just to pile the pain on and dive home, that's those sort of things can really cost you a game.
Oh, they done the elf thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is dirty.
Yeah.
Spoon. This is outrageous, mate.
Yeah.
That's punishment to the extreme.
Yeah. Like I think Nuffle was a little harsh there. But still, I mean,
So
like this is kind of
next,
what like people say that Blood Bowl is the pessimist game, and you kind of have to play that way sometimes. You kind of have to look at that 3 die and say, "Ooh, that's a 3 die against a good piece with a mighty blow." But then you have to remember you're playing elves, and elves, like there was a scoring threat downfield. Elves are always able to just score if they've positioned themselves well for it. They they have a good chance, and you gotta
uh,
keep that in mind.
I think you don't take the block, and you see I didn't see because I didn't look, but you kind of see if there's any way to make it safer to kind of screen him off just in case you do 1 in 36 it, or to cover the scoring threat a bit more, or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're the rest of his team is tied down in tackle zone, so I think
And
he would have
you
had
make
to.
kind if it involves throwing dice, don't do it. But just
Yeah,
have a look. Spend 30 seconds, figure out if you can make some free moves before you have to roll the dice to score.
yeah. Like I don't like. I agree with you in principle, but I think in that situation, like the thing to do is just click end zone and go. Um,
Yeah,
like you get 2+2+2+, or it might even just be a 2+2+ actually. With a reroll, you can feel confident that you're gonna get that. But then as soon as you start throwing other dice, like even if the ogre had block, I still wouldn't have done it when you have other dice to throw. Like it just
um, I
like
wouldn't.
when the
I
game
I
when you're
don't.
like when the touchdown is at stake, you I feel like you need to play more conservatively.
Um, I'll take a 3 die block if I can run if my score involves no dice.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I won't take it. I won't take a 3 die block with a big guy. I
Yeah,
just that just doesn't enter my head ever. On a turn eight, when it's my turn eight and I need to score, I'm not making a 3 die block with a big guy.
yeah. I agree with you 100% that if he had no other dice to roll to score, I can see much like I don't think I would come down as hard. But when you still have dice to throw and you have no built-in rerolls for those dice, it just you gotta score. Like this is it's called Blood Bowl, but you win by scoring. You don't win by killing the other team.
You can win by killing the other team. It
Yeah,
just
but
has to be
even if you
to
kill
an
the other
outrageous
team, you still
extent.
have to score.
No, the game auto gives you touchdowns if the opponent can't do an LOS.
See, I've heard that, but I've totally played games where I only had two players left at the
I've
beginning of the
inflicted that
drive, and it didn't happen.
I've inflicted that on people, so yeah, that happens. It skips over the turn and it gives you a touchdown for it.
Really? Is
Yeah,
that I'd be in
yeah.
that situation and it hasn't happened to me.
Uh,
Or well, I guess the time I'm thinking about I was receiving, so maybe that makes a difference.
um, I've only had it happen once, twice,
Uh,
but I know that it gives you 3 touchdowns if the opponent can't set up an LOS.
okay, well, I guess the we can figure this out and talk about it in the Discord.
But but
Anyway,
that's
let's
very unlikely to happen, and you're 100% correct. You could just get the score.
yeah. So second half, um, this I'll turn my criticism now on the face planters. The elves throw a huge amount of dice to get past the humans and kind of set up what was really not a great screen. So the ball is behind the humans. He has a few players to screen it, but there's um, lots of opportunities to get at the ball carrier, and he doesn't bolt. But I feel like this would have been a great bolt. Uh, but he does get an east like a sack with a 2 die sack with a GFI available. So let's see what happens.
No, not the
Yeah,
GFI fail. Oh,
just
and the stun.
just at this point, I felt a little like after being so angry at him a moment before, I felt kind of sad that his GFIs keep screwing him over.
I know how he feels.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that would
um,
have been a good bolt because the catcher could have retrieved it and even have like gone it
um,
over where there's not a lot of elves.
I'm surprised this human team has a wizard. Um, but yeah, you're right. I'd have bolted that. Um, but you do wonder about being able to kill the ball yourself. I think that's it. Might have been the only thing that stopped him.
Um, so yeah, the elves are able to just score the next turn, and it becomes 3-1. Um, would have been 2-2, but that's water under the bridge. I do like this. I will say that this is. I like having the throw with a group of catchers just around him. So I really liked that. I thought that was a great play.
I
Um,
think he's still going for the draw.
yeah.
I like this a lot.
Yeah. So I think that was my thought too. Like if you're down two like this, you might as well like throw everything in to get the draw. And he needed to knock down this blodge sidestep to do it. He has two rerolls. I think he should have rerolled this. This was
Yeah, I think he
another
should.
like decisive moment. I don't.
This is
I'm not going to come down too hard on him for this because there's been times I've like auto
it's
not
a
re-rolled and then being like, ah, that would have been a good re-roll. I should have done that.
it's a 1 in 3, isn't it? To get him down. Um,
Yeah. But it's a sort of a game making 1 in 3 if he does it.
yeah.
Like if he doesn't do it, he's not scoring this turn. If he's not scoring this turn, getting that turnover to score in the next drive is really tough.
The only other thing I could think of is he thinks that no matter which way this piece sidesteps, he thinks the handoff and dodge might be better. I don't know. That might
Uh,
be why he didn't re-roll it.
I don't see a handoff and dodge. I mean, with the
Um, he goes forward two spaces. I think that kite's in range.
uh,
2 spaces from the ball carrier
well,
to the
he
right.
instead he goes there, which is not very well protected.
So he gets sacked.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, if you leave your ball open like that, he that's probably going to happen.
yeah. At this point, you start worrying
Um,
about the 4-1. But fortunately, Spoon made the mistake of he's just in range for the sack.
the double GFI sack.
Yeah, just his GFIs are really painful, but he still gets at least
Can't get it
something
done.
out of it. I think he actually
Um,
that's the
the
diving
hu-
tackle piece.
the humans are very lucky not to be 4-1 down at this point.
Yeah,
In a lot of ways, but Spoons gave him an opportunity to come back in here, and he's been really unlucky not to.
yeah, and then humans get a little bit more luck, gives them
Oh,
the
he was
opportunity to score.
yeah. The play that he made to go and blitz him and to use the re-roll on the GFI definitely gave him the opportunity.
Yeah, I will, but when everything's said and done, that ogre roll, I think we can say
That cost him
definitively
the
lost
game.
him the game.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Um,
Other than that, I'll
but
just say that he she didn't do enough to defend the ball. I felt like he left him it open to a lot of sacks unnecessarily. Um,
uh,
the face
yeah,
planters played pretty well. It's just my main criticism is that one turn where they I didn't show the whole thing because it would have been too long of a clip, but they like did some diving, like jump leaping rather. They rolled a bunch of dodges, some 3+ dodges, just to create this screen that didn't actually protect the ball. Um,
um,
I mean, like
just
I've literally done the same thing where I've like gotten everything in position and being like, oh wait a minute, I'm not actually protecting the ball, but um, it's just something to keep
just
in mind.
just a little thing to add. I think I think a lot of what we're saying this week is to watch the failure state on your players. What's the worst thing that can happen, and keep that in mind for the play you're gonna make.
Yeah, for sure. Like if Spoon had failed some of those rolls, he would have left the ball pretty exposed in his own half. Um, or at one point, even more exposed in the other half. So yeah, like I think that's right on the money. Um, and I think that a lot of people in this division kind of making the same mistake where that you need to balance what's the best thing that can happen against what's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah. So some of those things are greed rolls and stuff like that. But what's your failure state? What happened? Is the ball secure if that happens? What kind of shot does your opponent have on the ball? Um, a lot of what I've seen is there's a lot of easy shots on the ball, and one thing I want to help you all do is look for that. I think I think that's my goal for this season is to have everybody up their ball security, not let Kanuki score 5 or 6 every time.
Although it makes for easy recapping because we can just show like the 5, 6 sacks that happen in the game.
Yeah, I'm. That's what when I'm going through and recording games, I've noticed this quite a lot
Yeah.
that I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, that was an easy sack, or oh, this only required one block to open this up to like a 1D sack or a 2D sack. And some of these sacks are with like wrestle strip, and that's quite good odds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Just watch your failure state. Watch the ball security a little bit. Is a message for this week.
One thing that like I struggle with, and I made this mistake in the last league game I played, so it's something I'm still working on. Is being fine not moving the ball up for a turn. Like,
Um,
I feel like the face planters, particularly in this game, were like, well, I need to move the ball up the field. So what's the best way to do that when it would have been better for them to hang back?
yeah. You see it quite a lot sometimes. To be fair.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's hard. I mean, I blame it on the fact that I played rugby in high school, where you just always moving the ball up. Um, but that's probably not really what's happening. But still, it's like you gotta get comfortable with sitting in your own half or sitting midfield with the ball and waiting for the
um,
opportunity.
yeah. Another thing you see quite often is people take all their blocks and tie up all their players, and then have nowhere to put the ball.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
and I think that comes from not thinking through the whole term.
no, you just go ooh shiny, and
Yeah,
then lose track of
yeah.
making the ball safe.
I do that a lot with my human team. I think where I have
I know
so
the
much
feeling.
guard that I have so many hits I can't take. I'm just taking them all, and then
Instead
my
of
ball's
throwing
kind
off
of
a
sitting there.
decent and securing the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something I've seen and realised a lot more that we started doing recaps.
Face planters suffered a death. Not too terrible. Skillless linemen. They'll be missing. Spoon will be missing a guard block next game, which is unfortunate, but he'll probably survive. The core of his team is still there. The catcher. Is he gonna develop another sidestep tackle, diving tackle catcher, you think?
Um, yeah, you could very possibly.
Because I feel like he really likes that player. It's a good,
I like that player.
yeah, yeah. It's a good piece to have. I think.
It's an anti-bash piece, and it's a great anti-bash piece. He puts on the front of your cage, and then suddenly you greet a block, and then he's on your ball, and then you just can't get it off.
Yeah. Oh,
So I don't hate it, and with his movement 9 now as well, his movement 9 leap. Um,
oh no, he
no
rolled
spoons.
another double. He got guard.
Spoons got a very nice. Um, yeah, just roll guard apparently.
Yeah. Well, that was my strategy when I was developing my human team. Was just keep rolling
Roll one
doubles on
guard.
linemen. I I now have 7 guard on my human team, but I'm probably gonna fire one of them.
Aren't you getting talked into firing one of them?
I think I'm gonna fire the catcher. Like the thing with clan too is like it can be really expensive to bring your whole team over. Um,
Yeah, you have to fire one. But I think this also applies to main league where you try and keep your TV trim.
yeah, I think
So
it's
I
less
think
it's less
I
important
think
for mainly because the trade offs are a little more straightforward.
uh
But
if guards are double, then you're probably not firing it, but you might get rid of the wrestle piece that you suddenly find a bit bloaty or something.
yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd probably if I was wanting to get rid of one skill, I'd probably get rid of the dirty player. But yeah. Anyway, this let's not do a deep dive into our clan. If there's
No,
interest
that, that
in us doing deep dives into the clan, we can do that. Just let us know. But I doubt there's interest.
there was
Okay.
one dude who's interested in joining clan. I noticed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if yeah,
I
I
told him to
forget who
hit
it
us
was
up
that said that they wanted to join clan. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's my favorite format for Blood Bowl.
most definitely. Um, so
So we got
I believe I'm up.
yeah Barry versus BBC.
I think I've got nearly every game of Barry and the lads so far.
I
And
think
it's
I've got. Well, you know
it,
what? I was gonna say I got one Barry game, but that's when we both covered the same game.
no, I swear that was my fault.
You know, I think it was actually mine. Like
I
looking back
can't
at it,
remember.
but who
Oh
knows?
well,
It doesn't.
we made a
It's
boo boo.
yeah.
But we
Faults
sorted it out.
at the end of the day don't really matter. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
the first thing that you can tell straight away is it looks a bit dire for the chaos, doesn't it? Yeah, you kind of just got surrounded, and yeah, I can't remember if this was another blitz or not. Um,
It
but
definitely has the
the
look of a
chaos,
blitz.
yeah, I think this might have been the
Yeah, it
blitz. I
must be
think I might have
because
got it wrong earlier.
they're not even on turn one yet.
So blitz and the chaos are in deep doo doo. The owls have kind of gone round both edges, surrounded them, and now we're into the realms of chaos passing plays, which, luckily for us, or luckily for Barry and the lads, is exactly what they're good at. So that unique chaos build lets him potato down the field, but this goes back to the ball security thing where it's just there just isn't any. So we run our strength four catcher over through two lots of tackle zones.
Did he run through
And
tents for that? No, he didn't.
even if he did, it wasn't actually that bad for him to escape, but it would have been a passing error for sure.
No, I
But
don't think
he
he
was
did.
unlucky. He couldn't get it down. And then, yeah, another big guy failure, I think. Oh, no, this is where he blitzes the big guy down with his strength four, and then he gets a sack on the ball because uh,
Oh, that's not
I had
ideal.
massive I had a massive amounts of problems with the chaos uh, ball safety in kind of this first half, really. And you can kind of see it where owls are kind of based up and just free to hit you. They don't even need the blitz. So we're on to the next clip, and it looks like the owls might escape with your ball, but the chaos kind of knock him down, and then that happens. So I feel kind of bad, and then you one die blitz,
Oh,
which I didn't
oh,
like as much. I won't lie. But sometimes that happens.
yeah.
That might have been your only option. I didn't look through it if I'm honest. But so the owls kind of escape here, and they're looking at a handoff play, for the score on the Chaos Drive. But this was all started from the turn zero blitz and the Chaos being unable to try and like
Oh, and
secure the ball.
he greeds the pass just for that extra one SPP.
Oh yeah, that triggered me so bad. I like just chuck him the ball or just run it in, and then we're passing the ball because we're elves, and that's fine. That's what we do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's again like it's why I don't play elves. Um, yeah. Should I move on to the next clip?
Yeah, maybe that's how you play out. Yeah, but elves are 1-0 up. It's all hunky dory in Elfland,
I'm
and
having trouble hearing you again now. Actually,
sorry. There you go.
hey, actually, hang on a second. Okay, go ahead.
You good?
Yeah.
So the Chaos have managed to advance down the field here. They go for a score themselves. The elves have piled on the pressure, and we go for the patented Chaos passing play again. But we got rid of all the interception threats. So what is it? It's like a 3+, 3+ or 2+. I can't remember. Anyway,
I think it's a two
because
plus. I think it's a quick pass.
passing play because we're elves, and yeah, it works. So there was and we go into this half, and the second half, and the elves are on the ball. Um, we didn't secure the ball at all. We tried passing, and then we dropped it on the floor. The Chaos had blitzed the way away through, and then just failed to pick up, which was really unfortunate. It's kind of the flip of what happened in the first half, where I was like bemoaning the Chaos not securing the ball. It's now, why are you rolling dice in the field where the Chaos can kind of easily free up the ball and just take it from you? They have Agi 4 too. So it's not a stretch to imagine the Chaos just taking the ball. So we're on to the next clip because the Chaos can't do a 3+ with a reroll. And the elves grab the ball and leave. And then we try passing.
Oh, that. Did he at least have a strong arm or
Strong
accurate on
arm,
that?
accurate
Oh, okay.
pass.
So
Yeah,
that's
he used the whole shebang, I think, to get it downfield.
yeah.
So on our next turn, the ball's blitzable, but first of all, let's take the totally irrelevant block.
Sure.
Before we moved the player down to cover the other elf or blitz the ball, but yeah, okay. So we get him down. It doesn't break the armor. The scatter's horrible for the chaos, which is unfortunate, but it's a 2+2+ score, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought. And then for some unknown reason, we leave the ball. We don't score. We leave the ball blitzable again, and I'm just confused. I don't understand why you're stalling this out. I'm like, just go 2-0 up and force the chaos to have to score and then turn you over. But we have the ball blitzable. He blitzes again. If he breaks armor on either of those times, then I don't think you have an awful lot going for you in recovery. The first time, definitely.
And now it's
But the
even.
second
It's
time,
what 4 or 5. So it's a two plus two plus two plus now because he has to go for it.
yeah. Yeah. So he hasn't broken armor either time on the sack. The scatter's been pretty awful
Oh,
both times.
he wants someone else to pick up the ball. Okay,
But yeah,
just to roll some more dice.
we do the elf thing of, yeah, we just launch it to him instead.
So that's a catcher. Sorry, I thought that was a lineman. So it would have been just a 2+2+.
Yeah, well,
Oh, it works.
yeah. It's great and everything until it doesn't work, isn't it? And if
Yeah,
it keeps working,
you feel so good
if you
getting the
got,
extra SPP, and then one time it's going to cost you the game.
it should have cost him in midfield when he was doing a vanity pass to make it safe. The Chaos were really unlucky not to get the 3+ pickup, 2+ escape. So I'm feeling quite bad for the Chaos. The Chaos are having a pretty horrid time of it, to be fair. And the Elves are just kind of they just not failing stuff, to be honest, throughout the game so far. They just haven't really failed an awful lot. They've left the Chaos some shots on the ball. The Chaos have left them some shots on the ball. So you could say that's pretty even. But the Chaos just couldn't pick the ball up. Love normally. And we're on to the next clip where the Elves are 2-0 up, 2-1 up. No, 2-1 up because we had passing Chaos, didn't we? So I'm rooting for the Chaos at this point. I'm like, if the Owls can vanity pass, so can you. And we blitz with the Mino. So we juggernaut this. Important to note, this is now a GFI, which he fails. And then I think he loaned it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I hate using frenzy, because I feel like I would do stuff like that. So this looks like another hit on the ball. Oh, we've lost Inno. Um, or are you back? Hello? 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 You've come to say hello. It says that he's still connected, but he's no longer talking. Um, so we will just come back to this game maybe, and I guess I could pause the recording and then edit it back together, but that sounds like more work than I'm willing to do. So let's just go to my next game that I was going to do.
What happened?
Oh, you're back. Okay. I don't know. What? I
Okay.
just couldn't
I
hear
thought I
you.
had I thought I had more clips, but
No, no, you do. I just couldn't hear you.
oh, okay. It's only Discord voice, so it's okay.
Yeah. All right. So here's another hit on chaos.
Yeah, no, another free hit for the elves on the chaos, but you're kind of panicking a bit as the chaos. Yeah, I think he's trying to get into the 2-2, and with all the failures and stuff, he's feeling a bit hard done by, and he hasn't thought about his ball protection overly, and he gets sacked. And then elves do elf stuff and just yeah,
Oh,
1 in 36 to dodge because of the tackle. No, it's 1 in 6, isn't it? Because of the tackle. I don't think he had a re-roll for it. Um, so the ball's on the floor again, and
oh, we we seem to be unable to retrieve it.
yeah, it's just one of those games. Like the chaos get up here, and now they kind of need to make the long pass, I think. But the ball, even if you make this, it's important to note that like the elves obviously can still sack you. So
Yeah.
you're kind of relying on 2 bits of luck, and you don't get either. So the elves are kind of, we're just luckier than the chaos, I think. The chaos just failed too much and didn't look after the ball, and you need to do one of those things to pull off the win there, I think. the elves have more ag4 than the chaos. What
Okay,
did you think?
we're starting to run short on times. We were like ahead of schedule and we somehow fell behind schedule. I think it was ranting about the three dying with the
Not
ogre.
protecting the ball
Yeah,
and 3 dying with the ogre. Yeah.
yeah. So let's
But
just go to damage. Ooh, looks like BBC has suffered.
uh,
Okay, not as
I,
bad as it first looked because it's a loner and a lineman, but still that catcher.
yeah, it's not really that bad. He's got all the good pieces. I don't know if he got any levels.
Yeah, I think he'll miss that catcher because I think he likes to leap, but um, I think the core of his team is still strong.
I'd
No,
be more upset if he lost his strong arm or the strength, either of the strength 4.
yeah, I think number four, number six, and number seven. If he had lost one of those, I feel like he would have felt more. It would be more heartbreaking.
Most
So a level up on Barry, which is fun. What do you give Barry?
the sack. I don't know.
No, I he has to keep Barry because he's committed to the theme.
He's committed to the theme. Could he not just like fire a Chaos Warrior and rename it?
I, I guess, but it wouldn't feel quite the same, would it?
It's not the same, is it? No.
No.
No. You committed to the Barry theme. So you have Claw, Mighty Blow, piling on. If you committed to having him as your blitzer.
Ooh, piling on. I don't know. Tentacles.
He
Uh,
already has tentacles.
no, but that's what I'm saying is that piling on with
Yeah.
tentacles doesn't feel as good. Maybe guard.
Oh, God. Yeah, I like God.
Yeah,
Yeah, God piling on.
and I think
Yeah.
Tam gets sure
You could.
hands.
Oh, you can't take grab, can he? Because he's friends.
He could take grab. I think. Well,
You
let's
can't
see.
take grab and frenzy.
Oh, you
Don't
can't.
believe. No.
Oh, he took an agi up.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I don't know. Like, are you really dodging out with him?
it, oh, I don't know. I don't use Minotaurs, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. um.
Okay, I think I'll
Uh,
go even further out on that limb and say he shouldn't. He just shouldn't.
maybe this chaos team is playing like the NFL, where you just send guys out on routes and he just long bombs it with his now strong arm um, thrower. I'm gonna call that Beastman. um, I don't. Yeah, he's just doing his thing, isn't
Yeah, no, this.
he?
You know what? I I respect it because it's a fun
It makes
chaos
it
team
more
to.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what level ups you're gonna pick.
No, I was wrong on both accounts because Tam got strong arm instead of sure hands.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was like, so we strong arm it to the Mino and then score
Yeah,
as a legitimate strategy.
yeah.
Um,
I mean
yeah,
that is now technically doable. Um, if I
that's
mean
fun.
like if you don't have a reroll in hand, I guess. Though with wild animal, you'd want the minotaur to blitz something on the way so that you can roll wild animal on a five on a 2+ instead of a 4+.
So he can blitz through the screen. All
Yeah,
he's missing is break tackle, isn't
yeah.
it?
Or he can get the surf a guy and then run into the end zone.
Blitz into the end zone by surfing somebody.
Yeah. All right. we want we want that play. We want to see that play.
I expect to see that next week. No,
Yeah.
this week.
Oh, maybe not next. Like at some point in the season. I'm not gonna hold it to next week, but like at some point in the season, we better see that play.
I want to see it as soon as possible. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I just don't want to be too demanding. Like
uh,
the circumstances have to be right. I think.
I want him to do it against the elves.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just think the irony would be funny.
Yeah. Oh, and this is all off again. This has never done this before, and now it's suddenly doing it each time.
Well, what is our next game?
It is um, the
Jundia
Jeanne
versus
d'Arc
the Big
fanboys
Dip.
versus the Big Dippers.
Big Dip.
Make sure you can see the screen. Uh, can you see it?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So, um, yeah. Oh gosh. I remember this now. I have it written down in my notes as you are about to witness why Blood Bowl can be one of the most frustrating games in all of existence. It's the lizards are receiving, and they're taking a fair bit of pressure from the fanboys.
Wow.
And he manages to get his sidestep tackle, diving tackle on the ball, but he has lots of options to blitz him off. No, okay. He has another player. He can blitz him off. He can now hit him again. Well, he that one had tackle, so it's worth trying again. Nope. Well, okay. You know what? The skink can try it. Nope.
Oh, this is brilliant. I love this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's gonna get hit on the skinks, but he's fortunate. This is the loner skink that has the ball, by the way, which was interesting.
Uh,
So round two, 3 die. Nope. Make
can we
it.
just cover up the sidestep option? It's
Yep.
easier.
Yep. He kind of missed that trick. It's a little tough because the Saris are kind of in the way, like they can't dodge out. But yeah, he just could not get rid of this guy.
I just haven't bothered counting the dice that he's rolled against this guy yet, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I how many blocks has he thrown on him now?
8, 9.
So the skink is like, you know what, you Saris suck. I'm gonna get this done myself.
I power.
But he's still there, and he gets a pretty clear sack.
I'm disappointed that's not an injury. No, that's not fair. The skink powered him and didn't get an injury.
Yeah, doesn't seem right, does it?
No, that's not fair. But
Uh,
that blitz is like
But Nuffles
weight
a
in gold.
just god, and so he fails to pick up.
1 in 9 is a pickup.
Oh no, that was a 4+
Is
because it
that
was
plus
still
heavy?
it was in the other skin's tackle zone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the lizards fail to, like, a couple turns, maybe one turn goes by where the lizards are failing to get the ball back. And they come in this time. They get the 4+. A little bit of a problem getting out, but
Can
they
we make
manage
a
to
dodge?
re-roll.
Yeah.
And the ball's pretty safe here. That free Saros can't get at it. Uh,
You can
but
probably mark it up, but that's probably about it.
yeah. And the first thing he does, well, the second thing is he tries to
Oh,
dive out. The They run down the field with the ball, and he tries to dodge out with the Crocs. He passes the loner
Loner rerolls. Oh,
and fails the dodge again. My theory
that's a
for this,
frustration
like,
reroll.
again, this was like really early. Like, there's a bunch of blocks. If he was going to go this route, there's a bunch of blocks he could have made first. I think what happened was that he was tilting after that. Like,
After the blitzer did his thing.
yeah, after like two turns, maybe that was even three turns of like being bogged down by one player. I could understand being a little tilty. But yeah,
I
that
totally get it.
this is such an unfortunate half. Um,
This has just gone totally how the Brets would have wanted.
yeah, this basically, yeah, they score from there. Um,
There wasn't a lot the Lizards could do from, in my
yeah,
view.
yeah. So they even managed to stall out for a little bit there. Lizards start the next half with only two skinks. It's important to note the Lizards lost quite a few skinks.
They want to
But
be
they
skink
finally do
players.
get a little bit of a block of luck, and they have get a blitz,
Oh, way back into the game.
and they get a skink under the ball who immediately catches it. Just stay on your feet, stay on your feet, skink, stay on your feet.
He's just going to get 3 dot down.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
yeah. The Brits managed to retrieve it, but like back to our theme about ball security is the Lizards have a pretty easy job manufacturing another sack on the ball.
Yeah, there's no ball security there. It's just
Yeah,
make
but
my ball
doesn't
go.
work. It's actually okay though. Like part of me, like when I saw this, I was like, oh, maybe you take the both down. There's not much else left to do in your turn. At least it's on the floor. But I was
Um,
completely wrong
an
because I,
open an open 2 die like that with a team reroll is an 80% play to get knocked down.
yeah, I was completely wrong. Like I was like when I saw it, I was like, oh, he should take the both down. But I would have been 100% wrong. He managed to move the lizards in.
Nice. I always want the Lizards to win in this division because they're such massive underdogs in
Yeah,
most of the
I'm
matchups.
I'm cheering for the lizards, but the Bretts don't escape on their turn, so he gets a pretty easy smackdown on. And then that's pretty much all the luck the lizards have.
You used it all up too early.
Right into the Bretts' hands.
Wow.
It's okay, we can just blitz him away. Oh, the blitz works. This is gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Lizard's gonna retrieve this. That doesn't even look that hard for the lizards to retrieve.
I'm waiting for a double skull or
So
something.
this I didn't like. This block. He has blodge, and this is the tackle sidestep diving tackle. So he's now created a problem for himself. That's an easy mistake to do, but again, you gotta think the fail state. If you get a push, he's now created a pretty big problem with the exact same player that has been giving him a problem the entire game.
Yep.
And
One
then
and
he
nine reroll
one
double
and nine
skull.
to do a dub
Oh,
skull.
I called it.
I like this play by the Bretonians. They get the ball
Chain
loose,
push the
and
ball.
of course, that was all part of the plan to get right into that guy's hands.
Chain pushed it off prehistoric tail as well.
Yeah, well, this is one of the few times I'll say it's okay to blitz with the big guy. But
Oh,
it's a 75 chance if he can't get him off.
dauntless.
Dauntless, and then just to
Yeah.
rub in the salt.
Oh, oh, that's big.
Yeah. I would say that this is not something I give out lightly. I would say that was something of a dicing. That may be in the first real dicing of this season for this division. I like to
Um,
think a dicing is when it, everything just sort of goes against you, and the
I think a
well, you
lot of
can't
things
even
stacked
blame.
up there.
I don't blame Sticky B for anything that went wrong. I He might have been
I
able
I
to get the
I blame him for
sidestepper
letting.
off if he had placed his players a little better, but all his Saras were tied down so much. I don't even know if that would have been possible for him.
I don't look at games like that. I look at games at what you can change, and I think for me, what before he started taking loads and loads of blocks against the sidestepper, the failure state was that you just don't knock him down. So maybe you make it so that he can only sidestep to one place, and you limit his options. You kind of force him away because he spent 2 turns just tied up by that one player.
Yeah, but I mean, we can. Why don't we go back and look at it? Because I don't actually think that was possible. Like you, go a little bit more. You look at this here.
I
There's two
just don't blitz
spots.
there.
I
There's only
actually, you
two
know what?
spots you need to
You know what?
cover.
Yeah, he could have. He totally could have. He should have moved the skink. You're absolutely right. He should have moved the skink behind the ball carrier and then blitzed from beside the ball carrier, and that whole problem would have gone away.
Yeah, a lot of the time, problems like that you can solve it quite simply.
Yeah,
Like this goes back to my thing of you take 30 seconds before you start your turn. This screams to me like, oh, I have a problem. Oh, I'm gonna blitz it off with this, and hasn't thought through like this. What if I don't get him on, and then he sidesteps here, and then he sidesteps there, and like it, you just end up caught in the same problem.
yeah. I mean, he'd still be in a spot of trouble, but yeah, it would have been a lot better. Um,
But that's stuff you learn from. Like you make that mistake, and every time you see a piece like that, now you before you try and blitz it off, you have that in the back of your mind of where would I like to sidestep to if that was my piece, and you kind of play around that then.
yeah. So one thing I will say about Flaming Dude that I have down in my notes here, I I think it's a failure state I issue. I have it down as a turn ordering thing, but really that's very closely related. He kind of left the ball on the ground where it was pretty retrievable by the lizards. But before he picked it up, he rolled a bunch of blocks that could have easily gone against him. There was I think it wasn't just blocks. There was just a bunch of dice that he was rolling before he made the ball safe.
Um,
I didn't show that part, so you can't.
even if you're not gonna go for the pickup, maybe the pickup's a bit too risky
No, it was
or
a
something
straight up
like that.
3+ with a root. It was a 1 and 9. Um,
I have a ball carrier that 1 in 9s more often than 1 in 9 times. So I understand not wanting to make the pickup, but maybe you could screen it off or I don't know, like ball 4 security. It's
Yeah.
just something to consider at the start of your turn. You are right though. I wouldn't want to be throwing a load of blocks before Fury.
Uh, well, Jean d'Arc, I guess, is going to lose this dodge guard blocker, which is unfortunate because that's a nice piece. Dead lineman doesn't really matter.
Ah, the brilliant Brett. I love the Brett.
Yeah.
Really well, really nice.
The the Big Dippers, they have a niggle on the block. Skink, you probably keep that. That's probably worth keeping
Niggle
that.
Stunty. I wouldn't keep that. Niggle Stunty is bad. I'd keep it
I
if it
think you
was
keep
like a
it.
movement up.
I don't know. I think I would
I
keep it. I
don't
would just
play.
protect it a lot more.
I don't play enough lizards
Yeah, I
for
mean, like
this.
just getting the doubles and stat ups on skinks is so valuable that you kind of loathe to throw them away. Like, I'm not
For
gonna
me, if he was
if he
agi up
doesn't
or
fire him, I'm not
Pizarro,
gonna say he did something wrong. I'm just gonna say that it's. I think I would have at least kept him for a little bit because at this point, if he just dies, he dies. Like he's not too bloaty with only one skill, and then you just
that's
see
still
how he
80k.
develops.
That's like a bribe, but you're already low enough TV where do what you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if he has a match and he thinks, oh, in this match I can get Sylvie and Wizard, maybe then
Yeah,
you
and then you're
fire
playing
him.
with loners. I don't think that's a lot better. I'd rather invest the 20k from my bank.
Yeah.
But I kind of
Um.
see what you were saying
But he okay.
with
So he gets
TV.
a level up on the Ceres, which is almost certainly block, and Chip the Skink. I suspect he's going to give him diving tackle, but let's see.
That level doesn't take.
Oh, he rolled a double, so he gave him dodge, and he hasn't rolled the Skink's level yet. I didn't see an argument for like sprint or sure feet on Chip, but I would develop him as a diving tackle. Having two diving tackle, I think, is good for lizards.
After after playing Nurgle, which is kind of similar to Saurus, like we have a lot of the same problems, but Saurus are quicker. Like we're both strength 4, agi 1, AV9. I wouldn't go dodge first skill. I'd have turned it down. I'd have took block.
I actually agree with that. I would have turned that down too.
Because it's just going to be
But
so
like
long
this,
to your next level.
I I imagine he's thinking of this as development season. So long term, having that dodge feels good. If he's just thinking I'm not going to win that many games this season anyway, I think the argument's a lot stronger for taking the dodge.
I,
But I
just
agree
I
with you
just
in
think
terms of
it's
like the short term winnability. You should take block
even
over
even
dodge.
even medium term, like in next season, that just took block. He's going to level so much quicker. Even if you've chalked this season and you want to maximize your blocks, that's how you're going to level him.
Yeah,
You're
that's
going to be
fair.
blocking with him because he's agi 1. But yeah, um, I don't like dodge agi 1 pieces. But I understand that you got a double, and I've been in that position where I've been like, oh, I gotta take it. In
I
reality, I probably shouldn't have.
I think a blodge stars can be pretty good.
I like blodge break tackle. That's good.
Yes. Well, I
But
mean,
then
like
you're like
that's the thing too. Like
with
I
25
actually I've
FTP
had
away.
blodge guard stand firms that have like been just amazing and have done amazing things.
They just stand there and just don't ever.
Yeah, exactly. So I
The
think
dream.
dodge on Osiris is fine. I think it's much better if your team already has a bunch of other skills.
Yeah.
He actually already has actually a blodge Saurus, so maybe yeah, that's even more of an argument for not taking it.
Um. Yeah, people build teams different ways, don't they?
Yeah,
So
true.
maybe he sees this dodge different to you or I.
Yep, that's perfectly true. All right, we're 2 hours in, and we have one game left to discuss.
Yeah.
And
Oh, this is
I do want to talk about the standings at the end because go with 4 games in, I think the standings matter a little bit more now.
this game doesn't have many clips. It's quite a short one.
All right.
There wasn't a lot to say about this game other than it's a game of two halves. Like um on the LOS, it
Sorry,
was
who?
Nat
Which is this?
Flaming Zuns versus Rex Lupus.
Oh, I don't think I downloaded this clip.
Yeah, it was the one I was doing.
I didn't see
Right,
it
I
in
think I
the.
was
Hang
replay
on.
for.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, when we were talking, I was confused about what you meant because I didn't see it there.
yeah, that's what I was doing. I forgot. This is all my fault, by the way, because this was the game that I was doing at the last minute. I was cutting the clips down because what I usually do is I cut all the clips down and then I put it in on a Monday. But today, this week, I've just been stupidly unorganized and I've confused poor HC.
All right. Well, that downloaded quickly, so I can now.
It is a short one. So yeah, I'm sorry this was a short one, but other than showing all the injuries and stuff, which there was nothing too severe, there was like a dead lineman. Um, yeah, there wasn't too much to say. On the LOS, Rex Lupus removed two orcs, and that's kind of how the half went. But you see on this clip here that the orcs have like a 3+ to 2 die ball, I think it was. Oh, it was a 3+3+ to 2 die ball. Anyway, it wasn't too unlikely, and they go for the sack and they can't get it. And so maybe a bit lucky, but that's kind of how the half went. It was just all Necro pretty much. Necro had complete control of the game, and there wasn't a lot the Orcs could do. They were just getting they got removed, two removed, so they were down to 9 on the LOS, and then they suffered a few KOs and stuff. I think deadline. But we're on to the next clip, and you can see that he's kind of handed the ball off to the wolf because we have that much control. Kind of left it on its own, but was going for the 3 die on the Agi Blitz, which he gets, and then we just kind of walk it in. And that was pretty much the first half. It's not very many clips, but there wasn't very much action, I'm afraid. It was just um, Necro doing what they wanted to do. And then in the second half, the table was totally reversed. And the Orcs pretty much had control of this one. They pow the zombie. Was it? Oh no, here we go. We get a nice hit here on the goal, sorry. And obviously it's not blodge yet, so both down is good enough,
Mm,
and off it goes. 87, no regen, no appo. It's yeah, that's quite likely to happen when you leave it like that. So there's that dealt with. And he just kind of potatoes down this side, and the Necro are kind of caught on the wrong side of
uh,
the orc wall.
that doesn't look safe from the wolf, though.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
A bit of a frenzy trap, but if he gets the down
Oh,
on the first hit, yeah.
yeah. straight down. Claw Mighty Blow stuns him as well. And the ball is a horrible scatter for the Necro.
Yeah, that's not great.
And then you just get your wolf punched at this point, right? So he gets punched, gets straight powed. No injury though, so that's a positive. We just walk away from the goal because we're Agi 4.
Yeah,
And
I think we had
walk
an
in for a
argument
touchdown.
about that whether to take that Agi 4.
Orcs are interesting. I think orcs have different rules, especially when you're already blodge. But yeah, turn 16 looks kind of difficult for the Necro to score here.
Oh, I can't. Can you move your mic back? I can't hear you.
Turn 16, it's kind of difficult for the Necro to score here. And then you take a block I didn't take. And then we roll the dice that we need to roll, and we're not really getting the result that we needed to get. And now it looks really unlikely. So I think he's going for the throw. And that didn't work either. So there wasn't really much action. It was just the first half, the Necro totally controlled it. The second half, the Orcs totally controlled it. And I don't know what to like.
You're still pretty quiet, actually.
The first half, the Necro controlled it.
Did we lose you again?
The second half, the Orcs controlled it. I don't think so. Have you
Oh,
got me?
I feel like you're cutting out.
Oh, am I'll try rejoining chat. See if that.
Anyway, so I guess we'll just look at the injuries. A dead lineman, niggle, block orc, black orc is that's tough. If you come up against a claw team, that guy's gonna be such a sitting target. I think you might fire him because he can't. It's not like he can protect him because you want your black orcs to be up and center. So yeah,
Hello.
yeah. I'm just. Do you think you fire the black orc with a niggle?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
It depends how leveled it is.
He just has block.
Yeah, fired instantly.
Mm. Rush Golem's gonna miss next game. That's unfortunate. So level ups. The thrower has a level up. He has Blodge. I would say kickoff return would be my pick.
Orcs. I can never find these orcs. I forget which page they're on.
Yeah, he gives him
Hang on,
kickoff return.
I can't find them. Oh, it's the Flaming Sun. Yeah,
And did he
kickoff
fire
return's
the?
good.
Or he hasn't fired the Black Orc yet. He might future, but he hasn't done it yet. Rex
There's
Lupus, the
no real
where?
need to do it till next week, is there?
Yeah.
Because he's MNG anyway.
Well, I mean, like you could fire him and then have another Black Orc. Does he have the money? No, he doesn't. So, you have a strength 4 werewolf going up. You hope for double so
Mighty
you get
Blow.
Mighty Blow, but if you don't, give him sidestep maybe, sidestep or tackle.
Tackle, probably. Tackle for me. No, he already has tackle, does. Oh,
No, there's
might
the
have
other.
just spoiled the level up.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, he gave him tackle.
tackle. But yeah, sidestep might have been a good shout as well.
Yeah. That's just me being nervous about frenzy and then ending up at the end of the
Yeah.
sidelines. So let's look at the standings as the last thing, and then sign off. That would be my division. All
Yeah.
right.
Sounds good.
So, like I said before, that loss by Kanaki, I think was really. I think it's nice because it keeps the division
I
tighter.
think
But if he had won that, I feel like he would have been kind of moving ahead of the pack.
Kanuki's on 9 points and 11th place is on 5 points. So not really that big of a difference. It's a game in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never far away. If Kanuki has two bad games, it's suddenly like he could be in 11th place.
Well, yeah, like
or,
if
or it could be 8th, ninth. Like it's very possible.
if Kaneki loses his next game, like it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he could be like in sixth place this time next week.
The Kislev have already beaten him and only a point behind, aren't they?
Yeah,
Unbeaten Kislev at that.
yeah. No, the Kislev, like I think they started off with a couple of draws, but they've been
No, he's played some really, really good stuff, hasn't he?
yeah,
From what I've seen.
yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
just look,
table's really close.
yeah, um, yeah. Like I think this is like you see a lot of potential. Like Children of Dune can make their way up. I think that's pretty plausible. I would love to see Barry and the lads in in postseason because I'd love to like hear other commentators talk about their that team.
I want to hear other people's views on this team. I
Yeah,
think it'd be fun.
yeah,
I think as like my fun pick to see just how far they could go because it's such a different style of play as well. It's quite fun.
yeah, yeah. So I guess if I have one team I'm cheering for postseason, that would be it for that reason. But yeah, so
Um,
next,
yeah,
I think next week will be given how tight it is. It's going to be a big week. See who's
I,
gonna.
I reckon when we start
I think we lost in it
it
again.
mid-season, like 2 3 games. Yes, you did.
Okay. So we are what 2 hours and 17 minutes in. That sounds like a good time to stop. Thank you, everyone, and as always, have fun and good luck.
Discord keeps being funky. Good luck, everybody.